I don't know. The Celtics feel like, I mean, they both feel like they're complete teams. Obviously, they're in the finals, but it still almost feels like that there's something missing with the Celtics in that they gave away games against Milwaukee and Miami, and you figure that they probably can't do that against the Warriors. And for the Warriors to have the first two games at home where they've been undefeated this postseason, I I feel like they should be up 2-0 going into game 3, and I'm sure they're going to be disappointed if they're not up 2-0 regardless. But game 1, they're going to have more rest, not just for the game between the last game of the conference finals and the first game of the finals, but just in general, like we mentioned, back to back 7 game series for the Celtics. So the Warriors should be better rested, and I think at least they should carry that over into the first 2 games. I think, and maybe they're a little bit of a better team as well. But if you're the Warriors, you gotta like really seize the opportunity, at least to me, to go up 2-0, because I think the Celtics coming off back-to-back grueling series should play a huge factor in not only the first games, but if you start to get to a game 6 or game 7 of the finals, the Celtics' legs are just going to be more tired, and I think the Warriors should look to take advantage of that.
I absolutely agree. And the Celtics are, I don't know how good of a historical list this is to be on, but there have been 18 teams in NBA history to win multiple Game 7s in the same postseason. Only the 1988 Lakers have won 3 Game 7s. So if it has to go to a Game 7, if they win it, they're joining great company in that one. Also, they're only the second team since the first round went to 7 to have a better road record than a home record going into the NBA Finals. They are 7-2 on the road and 5-4 at home. So for whatever reason, the Boston Garden has not been kind to its own team. The 2016-17 Cavs were 7-0 on the road and 5-1 at home before reaching the NBA Finals. So the Celtics know how to win on the road. They know how to make life much more difficult for themselves than it needs to be. And we've seen that happen in the last few games against Milwaukee. We saw that happen in the last few games against Miami as well. With the Warriors being the Warriors, that's not a position you want to be in. You don't want to make your life any more difficult than it already has to be to try and defeat the Golden State Warriors. This is a team that looks like they are clicking on pretty much all cylinders for dealing with the injuries they're dealing with. The guys who are healthy are clicking pretty well. Andrew Wiggins has been a huge boost to them this year, and he's only stepped his game up in the postseason. He's kind of becoming what we were hoping he'd be when he entered the NBA. And, you talked about it when we were talking about draft picks. If he wasn't the number 1 pick, he might not have gotten nearly a harsh a light put on him. But because he was a number 1 pick, he was early labeled as a bust because he wasn't doing what people thought a number 1 pick should do. But he is making the most of his time in Golden State offensively and especially defensively. And, I think as far as X factors are concerned, he's definitely got to be on the list for the Golden State Warriors. If they are going to win this series, he has to play a very large piece of this pie.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah.